The winter wind howled through the half-cracked window as Devin knelt near the old fireplace, feeding in another split log. His cabin sat miles from the nearest town, nestled in the woods where cell signals didn't dare wander. He didn't mind the isolation. After years in the service and another few wandering space stations doing odd jobs, he found peace in solitude. But peace was a fragile thing. 3 sharp knocks shattered the quiet. Devin stood, hand instinctively brushing the hilt of the plasma knife on his belt, and made his way to the door. When he opened it, the frigid wind barged in, along with something unexpected. She was half frozen, barely dressed in tattered garments that didn't belong in a snowstorm. Her skin was a faint lavender gray, her hair silver white and matted with sleet. She wasn't human. Not exactly. But she was humanoid. Her wide, black-pupiled eyes stared up at him, sunken with exhaustion. Her thin lips trembled, and when she finally spoke, her voice cracked with desperation. "I can't pay, but if you let me stay, I'll earn it, however you want." Devin blinked. She stumbled forward, collapsing into his arms. Instinct kicked in. He didn't question her. He just caught her. Her body was cold, unnaturally cold, and far too light. She'd clearly been starving. He wrapped her in his thick flannel coat and carried her inside. He laid her on the couch beside the fire. She tried to pull the coat open, weak fingers fumbling with the buttons. Devin gently pushed her hands away. "Stop. Just rest first." She looked confused, frightened. "I said rest," he repeated, voice calm but firm. "That's not how we do things here." She blinked at him like she didn't understand, then slowly lowered her hands. Devin left her long enough to find a blanket from the upstairs loft. He returned, draping it over her carefully. She shivered beneath it, but the color began to return to her face. Her breathing steadied. He brewed a kettle of something hot, broth from freeze-dried synth vegetables, and offered her a steaming mug. She sniffed it first, cautious, and then drank like someone who hadn't tasted warmth in weeks. Only then did she speak again. "My name is Kari," she said quietly. "I came here to the outpost colony, looking for work." "Didn't find any?" Devin asked, settling into the armchair across from her. "Not for someone like me," she replied, eyes downcast. "My kind aren't welcomed much. They say we're too cold-blooded, too strange." Devin looked at her. "You're not strange to me. I've seen stranger things in the Outer Rim." Kari's lips curled into something fragile, a ghost of a smile. "You're not from here either, are you?"
No.
"Retired from the Earth Coalition a few years back. Been trying to forget what I saw ever since." She sipped the last of the broth. "So you're just alone out here? I like it that way." "Then why help me?" Devin paused before answering. "Because someone once did the same for me when I had nothing left." Kari slept for nearly a full day. When she awoke, Devin was outside, chopping wood. She watched him from the window, strong, steady, solitary. She had met many humans before. None like him. When he came inside, she was sitting up, blanket still clutched around her shoulders. "I can work," she said without preamble. "I'm strong. I can hunt, fix machinery, forage. I won't freeload." Devin nodded. "We'll find something useful for you to do. But no one here pays rent with their body. That clear?" Her cheeks flushed a faint violet. "It's how things were on the station. No credits, no citizenship papers. People like me don't get charity. We trade what we can." Devin set the axe down. "This isn't a station. This is my home. You're safe here." Those words hit her harder than he expected. She looked away quickly, blinking back something that glistened. In the following weeks, Kari became part of the rhythm of the cabin. She mended old tools with surprisingly deft fingers and taught Devon how to ferment frost fruit into something mildly intoxicating. Her people, she explained, were excellent brewers and even better at surviving the cold. Devon, in turn, taught her how to trap snow hares, maintain the cabin's off-grid generator, and identify safe paths through the snow-covered terrain. They talked little about the past, each respecting the silence the other sometimes needed. But slowly, something changed. It started with laughter, Kari's first, high and musical, when Devon accidentally spilled flour across the entire kitchen. Then it was her gentle humming while she cooked. Eventually, it became shared meals, evening chess games, and sitting by the fire reading aloud from old earth books. One night, a storm blew in hard. The wind screamed through the valley. The cabin creaked and groaned under its force. Kari curled close to the fireplace while Devon secured the shutters. "It's angry tonight," she murmured. Devon nodded. "Blizzards in these parts can last days." "Then we're trapped here together," she said, voice teasing but uncertain. Devon glanced at her, noticing the way the firelight danced on her silver hair, the calm in her eyes that hadn't been there when they first met. "Could be worse," he said. She chuckled softly. That night, Kari lingered longer by the fire, eyes thoughtful. "Devon," she said at last, "why did you really help me?" He paused. "Because you looked like someone who'd forgotten what kindness felt like. And I remember what that's like." Kari reached out, brushing her cold hand against his. "You still treat me like I matter. Even after all this time. You do matter." Her eyes shimmered again. "Then if I offered myself now, not because I have to, but because I want to, what would you say?" Devon studied her, heart pounding. "I'd say, let's not ruin something real with desperation. Let's build something better." Kari nodded slowly, her hand still in his. "Okay." Winter passed into the faintest signs of spring. The snow softened, the sun peeked more often through gray skies, and the trees began to whisper promises of new life. Kari stayed. She planted frost-resistant herbs behind the cabin and built a small solar distiller from spare parts. She laughed more, smiled easily, and her skin no longer seemed so cold. One day, while clearing out a collapsed woodshed, Devon uncovered a rusted old music player. With a little tinkering and a few battery cells, they brought it back to life. They danced in the twilight outside the cabin, Kari barefoot in the melting snow, Devon trying not to trip over his own boots. Laughter echoed off the trees. Months later, Devon sat at the table, fixing a broken coil gun sight when Kari entered holding a data scroll. "It's from the colony registry," she said, barely able to contain her grin. "They approved my ID. I'm legal now." Devon looked up, surprised. "You applied?" "You said once I mattered," she said, walking to him. "I want to build something real. I want to stay. Not just in your cabin. In your life." Devon stood, hands on her arms. "You already are." That night, they sat together on the couch, watching the stars through the now-clear window. The mountains stood proud and silent in the distance, the snow no longer a threat, but a part of their world. Kari rested her head on his shoulder. "Do you remember what you said the first night?" "Which part?" "Rest first," she whispered. "You didn't take anything. You just gave." That moment changed everything. Devon kissed her hair. "We all deserve a second chance." She looked up at him, a soft smile playing on her lips. "Then let's make the most of ours." Outside, the wind had quieted. Inside, the fire still burned, and this time, so did something deeper. Not just survival, but love.